Welcome to Week 6 college football. I'm excited here. My boy Raphael from My Bookies in the house. It's going to be one hell of a Saturday, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing great. Had to break out the new intro video for October. I'm a big Halloween guy. I love it. New Halloween movies coming out. I know you got some bets on that, some little prop bets, funds, how many kills and that type of stuff Michael Myers.
Over under how many fighters get killed in the first scene? You can bet that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Go find that ASAP. What's the number set at?
I think it was 6.5. I don't have it in front of me. I think it was 6.5 over under. I think the people bet, of course, the over, but it has to be on screen. So it's so you can't. If you see a dead body when Michael Myers walks past, that we don't know how he died. It could be gunfire from a fella. So it has to be on screen death.
All right, on screen death over under. I might hit the under. I was ready to hit the over there, but you said on screen death. I might have to go under there. But man, you got some great stuff going on in. Big night, fight night. Fury, Wilder. Let's just start there. This is a fight we've all been ready for. Fury is a minus 265 favorite. How has the numbers changed on this fight? What have we seen the public do? What's your tips?
This number will probably continue to change. I think the betting public will bet Deontay Wilder. I'm a little bit sad this morning when I saw Drake likes Tyson Fury, so yeah. I'm a little bit sad on that one. But I think this fight goes down to what we saw in the second fight. The first fight I thought was one of the better fights. That's when Wilder knocked down Fury. He thought he won the fight, and Fury gets up, and Fury controlled the whole fight. And I thought he won that fight, even getting knocked down. Second fight, I think we're going to see the same thing we see in tonight's fight. I think the first couple of rounds are going to be a board. Both try to establish the jab, try to feel each other out. And I think rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 is when the fireworks will start happening. And I think the longer this fight goes, the better it goes for Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is going to be leaning all over him and tire him out, and I think that's probably going to benefit him. I like the round prop over 7.5 rounds. I see this fight probably going maybe finishing 9, 10, 11. Like I said, I think this fight finishes in the championship rounds, and I would not be shocked if Fury wins by either KO or TKO in those rounds. But if you like Deontay Wilder, which I have no disrespect for, because he has powerful hands, he can land them and knock Tyson Fury into next week on both sides. You have to bet it early. Then you probably think if this fight goes quickly, I think Deontay Wilder wins this one. But I think if this one goes, the later this goes, I think it's better for Tyson Fury and his betting fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I mean, Fury's he's so heavy, and he's going to lean on it. He's going to tire you out, just like you said.
He's so awkward. I think that's the people just don't realize how he's just an awkward fighter, and he throws punches. He's a heavyweight that throws punches from his ankles. So it's not like he's a proper fighter that's going to try to establish his jab and work the body like we see other like Usyk when he beat Anthony Joshua. He's just an awkward fighter, and I think that's what causes problems with Wilder.
Hey, exactly, and plus Wilder's intro. I mean, he wears like 30 pounds of gear out there. I mean.
Yeah, we have a prop on that. Will his face be completely covered when he walks into the ring? That's our prop bet.
Oh, I like that. I might say yeah. I think so. He's an interesting dude himself.
Yeah.
But hey, this is gonna be one hell of a fight. You're going to it. I'm jealous, but man,
I'll wave. I'm like, hi.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm watching Pac-12 football right now.
Yeah, to dual screen, Pac-10 football, little horse racing. Boxing in front of you.
I'll tell a quick story. I'm at UFC. I can't remember what fight it was. I think it was Conor McGregor Khabib fight to win Chaos. And I was getting in trouble by UFC because I was actually watching a Showtime boxing match on one of my computers, and they're telling me you can't watch that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't tell me what I can watch? Because I had boxing on that one. I can't, and I think I had an NBA playoff game in the other one, and they were giving me shit about being in press row, and I have to be 100% focused. I'm like, what the? I'm like, get out of here.
Hey, I mean, they all have an agenda. I get it. Well, before we hop into college football here, one more thing. Baseball, it's popping off playoffs. Everybody's done through game one of their series so far. Have we seen numbers change for any team? Have we seen anybody hop on a bandwagon or hop off a bandwagon?
I mean, everyone. Yesterday's the stories broke that a lot of sports books are in the red if the San Francisco Giants win. That story broke, and I would say that's mostly Vegas. I mean, I'm sure New Jersey sports books did backflips when the Yankees went home already because they were one of the bet heavy teams when the season started. But yeah, I mean, I think some books are in a small red when it comes to San Francisco. Of course, the Reno books and probably Vegas are probably a little bit different than if you check at Colorado, New Jersey, other books. But we're all rooting for anybody besides the NL West. I mean, let's because I think that's where all the money went in on a World Series. So if we're greedy people, so we want the biggest. We want the biggest collection. So I can guarantee you, odds makers will be looking for anybody besides NL West teams. I think the Braves will even up the series today. There's only 2 National League games today. I think with Max Fried on the mound. I'm not a big fan of Woodruff. I think he's lost his last 4 starts. Coming into this one, he's not the same pitcher he was before the All-Star break. And that Dodgers Giants. I mean, it's going to be another great matchup tonight. I have no opinion. I had the Giants last night because you're trying to tell me I can get plus money on the Giants last night at home. So it's going to be interesting. But I know for us odds makers, and I conclude myself part of the media and probably yourself. Let's face it, we do not want Tampa Bay and the Brewers in the World Series, or because I think that'd be one of the world's worst watched World Series. But it's been fun. I enjoyed yesterday. Great 4 baseball games. Started in the afternoon, go to bed watching the Giants, the Dodgers, and watching Arizona State and Stanford. So I love 4 baseball playoff games.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. Yeah, I saw that story. Giants putting a lot of books in trouble here. I don't think they're going to get it done though. I think most Vegas is going to be safe. I just don't think I have enough talent on that roster, enough power. But hey, we're going to find out. It's going to be one hell of a baseball playoffs, and I'm excited for it. Well, let's talk about a huge issue. This broke last week, and we had to cancel last week's show, and I want to talk about it. But we're going to finally talk about it. Urban Meyer, need a little finger massage, whatever. Who knows what he was doing? Gets in trouble down at his bar in Columbus, or up in Columbus, and people are talking. He's doing this on purpose to go to USC. Are we going to see any odds on this?
I don't think he's going to go to USC. If he gets fired, I think he's done. I don't think he goes. I don't think his ego is so high. I don't think he takes a step back because I think he thinks that's a downgrade of going to the NFL and then going back. Even though people at one point USC was the NFL of California when they didn't have any teams in LA. I don't think he goes back. I think if he's done here, I think he's done. And if you're USC, why would you hire another headache? I think if this guy right now can keep the boat float, I think it's a big game tonight with USC against Utah, even though Utah's probably coming in a little bit grieving with their loss of their player. I think USC wins tonight. And I would not be shocked if that's the case. I don't think him step backwards. I mean, that's why I put the prop bet next Florida football head coach to be fired. I had Urban Meyer minus 175. I think he's up to minus $2. Mike Novell from Florida State, Jeff Scott from South Florida, Manny Diaz from Miami. I think Jeff Scott could be the next. I think he gets fired first because I think don't forget college football ends quicker before the NFL, and I think Urban Meyer does coach the whole season unless for some odd reason he gets caught doing something stupid again. But I think he'll be the football head coach all season long.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Really, I see. My guess would be Manny Diaz from Miami. I mean, the U has turned way upside down there, and they're not having the season anybody thought they would.
That is correct, but at the same time, I don't think it's just a football program. I think it's all the athletics in Miami. They've had trouble with their basketball programs. They've had trouble with their baseball program. I don't think it's just. I think it's the U in general, not just their football program. So, I mean, I think he does get fired. Don't get me wrong, but I think Jeff Scott in UCF might be the first one. Like I said, it's the next one. So it's always who's going to get fired first.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listeners, watchers, go put some money on it. Trust our boy Rafael. I got faith in him. You've convinced me. Golly, I need more coffee this morning. Huge upsets last Saturday in college football. Cincinnati goes to South Bend, takes down the Irish. Then we have Kentucky beat Florida, and then Stanford beat Oregon. Did we see the books change on any of this stuff?
Not really. I mean, the Oregon one was probably the bigger one than anything. I mean, we all had question marks with Notre Dame coming into that game anyway, so that's not a big news thing because Cincinnati's been high for the past 3 to 4 years. So it's not like Cincinnati's like Coastal Carolina where they've been in irrelevance for 2 years. I mean, that's why I think a lot of people have given them a lot of love this year because they were good last year. So it rolls into the year before, which it shouldn't when you're looking at rankings and all that, but it does. I think that's why a lot of love came in from Cincinnati because what they did last year and what they did the year before. But I think the Oregon loss probably hurts not only the Ducks but Ohio State. I mean, because if you're Ohio State and you're trying to get some love, because let's face it, Ohio State's going to be really watching this Iowa Penn State game today. You really need something to happen, but not just in your own conference, but you need Oregon to keep on winning because that's going to irrelevant your strength of schedule and all that. So I think the Oregon loss was probably one of the bigger ones, and Kentucky beating Florida, that doesn't really shock me. Now if it was at the Swamp, then I would totally reverse myself and say, hey. Florida losing at home to Kentucky overshadows or Oregon dropping down to Stanford. But, I mean, that was in Kentucky. I mean, and Kentucky will probably win today against LSU, and I'll have to put a head-to-head match of who gets fired first, Urban Meyer or Coach O or something like that. So that's another story. LSU's another headache that you have to tackle with.
Yeah. We're going to pick that game too, and things aren't looking good in Baton Rouge down there. Here's a list of undefeated teams. I don't know if you thought about doing props of last one standing or anything. I don't know. That's probably a lot up in the air. We got Bama, BYU, Cincinnati, Coastal, Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan, Michigan State. Shout out to Michigan's putting it down. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Once again, the whole state doing their thing. Penn State, San Diego State, SMU, UTSA, Wake Forest, and Wyoming. Any of those teams kind of stand out to you?
I mean, people ask me how come I don't do a prop because let's face it, Cincinnati, UTSA, and Coastal Carolina. I mean, their schedules are not. Why would I do something like that when everyone's just going to look at Coastal Carolina's schedule or the Roadrunner schedule and bet the house on that and compare it to Michigan, Michigan State, Oklahoma State, which they have to battle their tougher conferences. But I like small schools, so I would love to see BYU. BYU, I think, even though they're the Happy Mormons with the bicycle helmets, their strength of schedule, if they stay undefeated, is bar none than anybody. They're going to have Pac-12 victories. They're going to have ACC victories. And I'm sorry, Cincinnati, you beat Notre Dame, which I don't think they're going to have key victories. I think they go down today in Blacksburg. I'll take Metallica over Touchdown Jesus any day of the year. So I just think BYU, if they can go undefeated, I think their strength of schedule, how do you not put them in or consider putting them in a Power 4, even though they're an independent, they're not in the top, Power 5, but their strength of schedule will be bar none.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head. And Coastal's not staying undefeated. I'm just telling you right now, October 20th, App State, we're going to get that dub.
Oh, here we go.
No, absolutely makes total sense. And before we get to our pick'ems, we got some really badass uniforms being brought out this weekend. Arizona State rocked the Aztec-inspired helmets last night for Hispanic Heritage Month. Kentucky's wearing all black with the chrome. Tennessee's going dark mode. It's the first time we've seen black jerseys since 2009 for them when they beat South Carolina. And then Memphis kind of going with a black on white helmet there, which is pretty dope. Uniforms. They have any what's the word I'm looking for? Any chance at improving a team status here this week?
No, that's not whatsoever. I mean, maybe on TV it looks kind of cool. I mean, ASU's helmets, Memphis's helmet. I think people want helmets. They can really give a rat's ass of what their jerseys look like. I mean, watching Thursday Night Football with Seattle's jerseys, my eyes were hurting by the first quarter. So I think people really care about helmet detail, not pants and jersey colors.
Hey, that's fair. All right, just had to throw it out there. I'm a big fan on the black on black with Tennessee, but it would be so much better with the black helmet. So you got a point there. I think all we do is care about helmets. Well, hey, let's dive into some pick'ems here. Let's start with a little Big Ten action. Rutgers, Michigan State. Michigan State ranked 11. They're a 5.5-point favorite. Over-under set 50.5.
Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. I wanted to take the Rutgers, but I was hoping I was going to get like 5.5 by now. And it's really good two-way balance, money coming in on this one, even on the total. I thought I was going to see more action on this game, but it has not really moved the number now. Michigan State's 4.5. The total's 49.5. So not that much movement in there. I think Michigan State will come out on this one, but I don't think they cover. I think they only win by a field goal. I think Rutgers keeps this close. I think their running attack will bother Michigan State, especially in the second half. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll take Michigan State to win the game, but give me the plus points with Rutgers.
Hey, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. When this number came out at 5.5, I think it's what the books opened up with, or at least what I saw.
Yes,
I threw money on them right away. I was like, Rutgers definitely keeps this within 4 to 3 points easy, and I think it's. Rutgers is a good team, but Michigan State is going to get the win. Staying with the same conference, Nebraska, Michigan. Michigan's ranked number 9. Maybe this Michigan team is for real, but they're going against Nebraska, and they're a 50-50 ball game. You never know. Michigan only 3.5-point favorite. Over-unders at 50.5.
Yeah, I don't understand why so much love on Nebraska all of a sudden when they were the doormat weeks 1 and 2 when they lost to Illinois. I mean, last time I checked, it's still 2021. It's not 1990 and when Nebraska was irrelevant. So I like Michigan. I like just the way they're playing on both sides of the ball. I think they have the better offense than Nebraska, and I think their defense has been all over the place. I'm going to take the quiet, low-key Jim Harbaugh, whose team's playing outstanding football. I think they stay undefeated, and I think they cover this one. The number keeps on dropping. It's now Michigan's 2.5. You could probably get it. I think this one probably goes to 2 since it's a later evening game. So I like the Wolverines.
Yeah, I do too. My jaw hit the floor. I was like 2.5. I've made a typo somewhere. Like, come on, or 3.5. No, people are loving Nebraska for whatever reason. Give me the Wolverines. Give me the pleated khakis. I don't care. Wolverines get it done. And then the huge matchup for Big Ten. Number 4, Penn State. Number 3, Iowa. Penn State's last loss was at the hands of Iowa. Maybe they get some revenge tonight. Iowa 2.5-point favorite. Over-unders at 41.5.
I've been teeter-tottering in this one, but I just think at the end of the day, I think Penn State's defense is going to pull something out of their hat, maybe a defensive touchdown, special teams, a touchdown, better field possession in the fourth quarter, and I just think they squeak one out and they steal this road game. Even though I love the way how Iowa went to Iowa State early this year and went on the road and got a big W, but I just think Penn State's defense is going to be the big key here. I'm leaning towards taking Penn State. Probably won't have any action itself on this one, but it's just game day should be here. I'm tired. I don't care about Oklahoma, Texas. If this is one of the games that's on your board, could give a rat's booty about this game because either of those game teams have anything relevant in their football careers lately. So, but game day should be there. But I like Penn State plus the points.
Yeah, you hear that, Kirk? You hear that, Lee? Get your tails up in Iowa. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Penn State has this game circled on their calendar. It's a revenge game for them. They get it done. The over-under, I want to say under just because both defenses are dominant. But this thing might go to overtime. You never know. I'm not going to touch that over-under. In this one, people might be scratching their head. Why do you have Wyoming and Air Force? Wyoming's undefeated.
Wyoming's undefeated.
Air Force only lost one game. This is a big game for them. Air Force 5.5-point favorite, 47.5 over-under.
And this one moved, too. I opened up at 3.5, 4. So it's moved a 1.5. And I think the right team is favored here. I think Air Force gives Wyoming their first loss. So I like the force in this one. I just think the way they run their offense is they know what's coming and they still can't guard it. And Air Force's passing attack is getting better and better year after year because they're recruiting quarterbacks that can actually throw more than 20 yards. It's like Big Ben is back there sometimes when you watch Air Force play. But I think the Air Force is the right way. I think they win by double digits. Would not be shocked if they win by 10 plus.
Wow. I know one of our sponsors at Pure Spectrum, one of the CEOs, big Wyoming fan. He's from out there. And Seth, I want to take your boys so bad. And I'm going to take them. I think they get it done. Give me the upset. Louisville, Virginia. Louisville 2.5-point favorite. Over under set at 69.5. Both these teams can score and score quickly. What do you say?
Yeah, I think the total is just a tad high, though. I think that we're going to see defense step up in the second half. Would not be shocked if it does hit the 60 mark, but 69.5 is a lot of points. So I'm just looking towards the under in this one. But I like Virginia in this game. I like to pull out the big upset on this one. I like the Cavaliers just because I think defense is going to be key in the second half, and I'll trust Virginia's defense in Louisville's.
Yeah, I think Louisville's got the better offense. Virginia's got the better defense, and offense wins games, defense wins championships. That's the old school saying here. I wish the over/under was set at right at 69. I'd take it. No half point there. Right in that sweet spot. Give me the Cards. Coach Satterfield, App State North, they get it done. I'm a little biased, Raphael. Now, you've already preluded to this game. Enter Sandman, Metallica versus the Irish, the Leprechaun. Number 14, going to Blacksburg. 1 point favorite Notre Dame is. Over under set 47.
Yeah, Notre Dame's just quarterback play has just been awful, and Kelly has not announced who's actually going to be the quarterback in this game. If you haven't announced it yet, that means you have no quarterbacks in that huddle that control your tempo and run your offense. So again, I've already said it. I'll take Metallica over Touchdown Jesus any day of the year. That means I'm probably going to HE double hockey sticks after my life is over with. But as long as there's Metallica and chocolate down there, I'll be happy.
In chocolate. Blacksburg's a hell of a place to play. That place is bumping. It's loud. It's vicious. Notre Dame needs this. They have to get this done. Otherwise, people start really scratching their heads about Brian Kelly and can he get the job done with Notre Dame. I'm not saying he would be on a hot seat. It's a warm seat for him, though, if he loses this thing. Give me the Irish. I think it's a statement game. Jack Cohen, quarterback play. You got to trust him. You can't have a two-quarterback system.
This number is now Virginia Tech's a small favorite, -1. So I think this number continues to move. You can get maybe plus 1.5 with Notre Dame. That'd be something you look at.
Hey, absolutely. I like that. I didn't know it moved. Look at that. Hot betting tips. I love it. A game that has been shoved down our throats our entire lives, the Red River rivalry. Number 6, Oklahoma. Number 21, Texas. Over-under at 63.5. Oklahoma 3.5 point favorite.
I like how Oklahoma's quarterback was a big Heisman hopeful, and then they're booing him, and they want him to go put the backup quarterback in. They're going to be booing him a lot today because I think Texas lights up the Oklahoma defense. It's going to be another high-scoring game, but I like the Horns on this one. I'll take the plus points, and I would not be shocked if this one goes over the total as well. But then screaming SEC at game day this morning, they're going to be they could be up there with Vanderbilt and Tennessee when they get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying hook 'em. Both these teams can score. Spencer Rattler, I think his Heisman hopefuls are done, dead. It's tough when your own fan base turns on you, and it's just, I don't know what to say. I'm going to turn the Horns down, though. Give me Oklahoma. I think they don't lose this one. They'll find another way to choke out their playoff chances. Stay in the same conference. West Virginia, Baylor. Baylor 3-point favorite. Over-under at 44 points.
Yeah, this one's interesting. The total, first of all, is here's another one. If you like offense, maybe change the channel because you're not going to see that much on this one. I like Baylor in this one. I think the numbers right on is really no value. Would not be shocked if you're getting a push. But this one opened up at 3, and as of right now, there's 2s, and it looks like we took some big significant money about a half hour ago. And that's why the big line movement at 2. And even the total is dropping now to 43.5. So if you can get 2 at Baylor, I think that's a worth shot play because I think they win by a field goal.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Over-under, if that thing can dip to right about 40, I'd be sold to take the over there. I don't think it'll drop 2.5 points, though, by the time kickoff. But
no, it's an early afternoon game.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was afternoon or late. Yeah, give me Baylor. I think Baylor gets it done. There's a lot of talent on that team. Special teams has been playing their ass off down there. Let's go sick them. Ole Miss, number 17, number 13, Arkansas. Arkansas suffered just a complete ass kicking to the second best team in the land, Georgia, last week. Ole Miss 6.5 point favorite. Over-under set 65.5.
Who's going to pick up their big boy pants after both got shellacked last week? And Ole Miss is at home. I think if this is an offensive shootout, I'm sorry, Arkansas, you don't have the weapons as Ole Miss has, especially at wide receivers and at tight ends. They have great 2 tight ends that could catch the ball as well. And Arkansas's quarterback's still not 100%, and that's a big key. I think that was a big key last week, and it's going to be a big key this week. I'm going to take Ole Miss to pick up their big boy pants after Alabama, and they win and cover this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Arkansas, you had one hell of a first month of football. Congrats on it. And I think your time's going back down to regular Arkansas football. Give me Ole Miss and the Rebs. They get it done. Auburn, Georgia. Number 18, Auburn. Number 2, Georgia. Auburn, one hell of a game. Last week, Georgia looks like another machine. Over-under set 45.5. Georgia 14.5-point favorite.
If it wasn't for Alabama controlling the game throughout the whole game last week, I might have moved Georgia as my number one team and Alabama go to number two, but they didn't. Both teams dominated, so I kept Alabama as my number one team. And I like Alabama's offense. I still don't trust Georgia's offense. I mean, their defense is the reason why they put points up, because they get great field position for their offense. The way their defense plays. I think this game stays close, but I had Georgia probably winning. I don't think they cover. I think they win by 14 right now. And this one moved to 15.5. So I think they win by 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to take the all plus points with Auburn. Bo Nix needs to have a game like he did last week for them to stay irrelevant and keep this game close.
He had a little Johnny Manziel, Texas A&M look to him. And he was scrambling left and right, throwing across his body. He looked damn good. Georgia wins this thing easy, but if it's 15.5, you might have to take Auburn with the points. Kentucky LSU 50.5 is the over-under. UK -3 favorite. What do we say?
Kentucky now is a -2. I have no idea why money's coming in on LSU. Have they watched them play? Their offense is scrambling around. Their defense has not been the same defense we've seen in years past. I like Kentucky. They got the monkey off the bat, beating Florida last week at home, and I still think, even though again there was a big win for them, they want to keep on playing good football and being perfect. I like Kentucky this one. LSU has given me no reason why I would bet them. The whole state of Louisiana gives me no reason to bet any of their football games. Tulane, Saints, LSU. I'd rather take the Raging Cajuns than take any of those 3 games.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Give me Big Blue Nation. Give me Kentucky. They get it done. They're heating up. Maybe they're not just a basketball school.
No.
Maybe they learn to play some football. But, yeah, families from Kentucky, that'll make them happy. Last game here, USC, Utah. USC 1.5-point favorite. Over-under set 52.5.
Yeah, this one should be very interesting. I've already mentioned with the heavy hearts, Utah's coming in because they had a bye week last week, so this will be their first game. USC wins this game. I think we see a lot of points scored in this game. I think the total is now 53. So there's still some 52.5. I'm a little bit shocked on that USC's only a 3-point favorite. And I know teams coming off bye weeks, more field time to watch it. But what's the mental state of Utah is the reason why I think the USC still covers this 3, even though it opened up at 1.5. I expect a high-scoring game. Utah will be competitive. But I just think in the fourth quarter, USC scores that late touchdown. I think they win by a touchdown. Should be a high-scoring game. Like I said, I'll be watching this game at the fight. Hopefully this game's almost over before the fireworks happen with the heavyweights. But I like USC, but again, I like the over as well.
Yeah, I do too. Give me the hammer. Give me the over. Utah, you're dealing with a tragedy. You've had a week to kind of process it, which that kind of helps. Thankfully, it wasn't 3 days before the game, and that could definitely spiral emotions out. Give me the Utes. I think Utah gets this done. USC, I'm not sold on at all this season. There's not the same USC that I grew up watching. Well, hey, that's going to do it for our college kickoff show. Short and sweet. Raphael, thank you so much for hopping on with us, man. Have one hell of a time at the fight. Enjoy it, and we'll catch you here next Saturday if you're still down.
Oh, yeah, I'm always down for you guys. I'm always this time slot's just for you guys, unless for some maybe Breeders' Cup weekend because I'll be at the track, stuff like that. But I'll see. Maybe I'll do the show in front of a horse. Who knows?
Hey, I love it. I'm here for it. Hey, have one hell of a weekend, Raphael. We appreciate you. Listeners, watchers, enjoy it. Hey, catch us next Tuesday for our regular show. Go check our social medias and have one hell of a week. We'll catch you guys later.